Hello friends, and welcome back to Random Hearts. Today I want to share with you a quick and easy dessert recipe that has been in my family for a lot of years. In fact, my mother used to make this pretty frequently when we were kids, and she would double the recipe to put it into a 13 by 9 baking dish. Now, for many years, I thought this was my mom's concoction and her own creation until about 10 years ago when I went to an event and a lady brought this exact same cake to the event. She did not have the same name for it, but there is only one way that she could have had that, and it wasn't my mom's recipe. So my assumption is this came from the back of a fruit cocktail can because it does need fruit cocktail in it. And so much like green bean casserole, that comes from a cream of mushroom soup can. That's where I'm assuming this recipe came from. But like I said, I do not know. I do not have a whole lot of information on it, but I do know that we love this recipe. It is fast. It is easy. I can throw it together very quickly right after work, and I can put it into the oven while I'm making my dinner, and we'll have a delicious dessert in little to no time and with minimal effort. So let's get started with what goes into this cake. To make this fruit cocktail torte, you are going to need 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 15 to 16 ounce can of fruit cocktail or fruit mix. We like the extra cherry. And do not drain this, you will need the juice. For an option on the top of our dessert, we are going to be using a 1/2 cup of chopped nuts. Tonight we are using walnuts, but you can use pecans or peanuts depending on what you have. We are also going to need 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and we are ready to bake this dessert. To begin, I have greased my 9 by 9 casserole dish, and I'm going to set that aside. I have also preheated my oven at 325 degrees, and I am ready to go ahead and start making this. So in my mixing bowl, I'm going to put that 1 cup of flour, the 1/2 cup of sugar, and for some reason that's sticking, so the 1/2 cup of sugar, the teaspoon of baking soda, and the salt. I am going to whisk that together very quickly here. The original directions have you sifting this, but I do not sift, and that's why I do think this is an older recipe. So I've just used my whisk. I've got this all mixed together, and now I am ready to start with my wet ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and put my egg in here. My vanilla, and the entire can of fruit cocktail mix. I'm also going to take my whisk out at this point. And it is as simple as this. We are just going to mix this together. Till we have a thick, well-mixed batter. I am scraping the sides. I can see I've got a little bit of the mixture still down at the bottom, the flour. So I want to make sure that gets mixed well. And that looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the counter here real quick because I do have a mess. Like I said, I always clean up right after I make a mess, just in case. Now I'm going to get this poured into my baking dish. Now that I have that completely filled, I'm going to add a little bit of chopped nuts to the top. Like I said, this was about a half cup of nuts. We have used pecans in the past, but I had a little bit of extra walnuts tonight that I wanted to get rid of. So we are using walnuts tonight. And I've chopped these very, very thin and very small. And then we're going to take this little clump of brown sugar. We're going to kind of break it up a little and put that over the top as well. This will give it kind of a nice little caramelized top. And we're going to bake this in the oven at 325 degrees. Now the recipe says for an hour, but if I remember right, it's been a few years since I've actually made this. It is not that long. So we will test this as it gets closer to like the 45-minute mark and see if it needs to stay in there longer, but I'm betting it will be less than an hour. All right, let's get this in the oven. Center of the oven, center rack, and we will check it after 45 minutes. So it has been 30 minutes, and I am going to check this because it's already showing signs that it's getting done. Now keep in mind that I do have a convection oven, which does cook things quicker, but at 30 minutes, this is done. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and we'll call it good. Well, friends, that's going to do it for us tonight. We made our fruit cocktail torte, and it turned out beautifully. The only thing that I need to make note of, and I knew in the back of my brain that the time on it was wrong, but this only needed to bake for about 30 minutes, 35 max. It baked at 325 degrees, and all I did was test it with a cake tester, and once it comes out clean, then it's done. So it's gonna sit here on the stove while we have our dinner tonight. You do wanna eat this while it's still in a warm state. So any leftovers on it, we usually reheat. And so we will serve this with a dollop of ice cream, or like tonight, a little bit of heavy whipping cream. We've even served it in the past with just whole milk on top. But you wanna eat this kind of like a bread pudding. So we hope that you've enjoyed this video and this recipe. If you have any comments, please leave those in the comment section below. Give this a thumbs up if you like this kind of video. We hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.